So instead of
Yeah.
sort of gradually hiking the prices, you might have just raised them right off the bat or something like this.
Yeah, maybe not right off the bat, but I think I would have raised them sooner than 1 year. I think after 4 to 6 months, they really know, like, okay, my pool still looks great. And if it can go through more warm months, that's the real test. And so raising them probably sooner than I did. Because it's just an
Okay.
uncomfortable thing when you start getting personal with them, and you start building relationships with them. You see some of them very regularly or talk to them regularly. It's kind of it's a tricky conversation to have with them to, hey, I need to raise your price. you know um,
Yeah, yeah. And did you use a route broker or did you just go right to the person that
it
had
it
the
was through, yeah, his was through a broker.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. And was there a specific broker that maybe you had a good experience with or something like this, or maybe it was a
What was
Facebook group that you found it
it
on?
was Springboard, I think.
Okay,
Springboard Brokers. Yeah, they're still
okay.
around. Yeah, it was a great experience. It did good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then I'm
Yeah.
curious, I know some guys they maybe haven't raised their prices before, um, or maybe it's a tough thing they're worried about. It sounds like you sound fairly comfortable about it, and you've done it multiple times. Um, do you have any words of advice to someone who maybe is charging less than people in their local area and they've never raised prices? Um, is there anything you've learned from doing this, etc.?
Yeah, I think it's always a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know if I'm super comfortable with it, but I think
Yeah,
when you're doing all the numbers and you're taking care of the business yourself, you kind of see the ins and outs, and you see
sure.
the money coming in and going, and you kind of understand that for you to survive, you have to raise the prices. Um, you have to stick with the market, because no matter what, the big companies are going to raise their prices. Last year the prices were raised, I think, two different times for us, and so if every year they're raising the prices and you're not raising your prices, you're going to be left behind and you're going to start losing money on pools. Um, but as far as going about raising the prices, I'm in a few different pool communities, and just reading about how everyone kind of does it. Everyone does it a little bit differently. I think what I like to do is just explain to them that the prices are being raised on those pools that were significantly under market price. I kind of had to go all the way back to COVID and explain, like, ever since COVID, things drastically came up and they never went back down. And so, because of that, I'm going to have to raise your price, $20 or whatever it is. And they totally understand. Some of them, it don't even skip a beat. I think I only had one guy who kind of gave me pushback. And it's funny because it's always the one that I don't think the $10 is going to really phase them. I've seen him drive his Ferrari out of his garage a few times, and it's crazy that he actually had any pushback. But I guess he does what he has to do, so he's going to give me pushback. And I explained to him, I said, hey, like, you're at $100. My minimum right now is one. At the time, I think it was 160. It's gone up since then, but he was at $100 and my minimum was 160. And I explained to him, like, I'm not making any money on this pool. I don't have any anyone running this route for me. It's all me. And even if I did have someone running the route, I guess that would just be giving that person an extra pool, but I wouldn't make any money on it. But since I'm running the route, it's my time, it's my energy. I need to make money on this pool, and you're free to go get some other quotes if you'd like. And I think he knows that he's underpriced, and he said, "No, no, that's fine. I'll do it. But can you promise me you're not going to raise it next year?" And I said, "No, I can't make that promise. I'm sorry, because you're still underpriced." and
And so it sounds like you had these conversations in person versus, say, over email or text, or maybe you did a little bit of both.
They were all email, but
Okay.
anyone, if I saw them in person the next week or the